So it's the 20th of November, 2021. A lot of wild things have happened with my life over the past 8 years, but I really was trying to hold it down, on my channel, and it's important because I don't like to risk things. I don't like to risk something that's so important. And this platform that I've created over the years, it's become very important, not just to me, to a lot of people that want to know the real truth about gang stalking and artificial telepathy and remote neural monitoring, EMF broadcast, and mind control, the holograms, the whole thing. Um, so I've I've tried to limit mentioning people because it can get you in some a mess. And I've been in court a whole bunch of times about this YouTube channel, and so I've tried to limit that. But um, so bear with me. I'm gonna go ahead now. I'm gonna tell you a lot of the missing stuff from my story, and you probably could notice a difference if you follow me. You can notice what's happened, and this is all important stuff. It's not just about gang stalking and neural monitoring, but it's about my story, my situation. And my story is significant because I know so many people that are gang stalkers that have access to neural monitoring, and a lot of people that are involved with my situation were people that I was close to at some point. So it's been a it's been a big deal, really. And I know I'm not saying my story is more significant than other people, but my story has much significance because of the fact that not only am I telling you all how gang stalking works and how remote neural monitoring works, and um, the real truth, the real reality that you don't find it anywhere else. You don't have other people out here telling you the real truth, and they don't have the insight that I have. They don't have the insight that I have. And so my story, me knowing a bunch of gang stalkers and being involved with some of these people at different times, it makes it very significant because it's not just a thing where I'm trying to tell you how it works, but I got the history and the experience and the insight to really know how it all works too. So, bear with me just for a second. I'm gonna have to go inside and plug my device in because this is gonna be a little. It's gonna be a minute. It's gonna be a minute telling this story. So hang with me. I'm gonna get in here and I'm gonna get plugged in. Set the camera up, and then we'll go ahead and get into this whole story. So, this is the missing chronicles. That's what you're about to hear. About to hear the missing chronicles of my gang stalking situation. The stuff I didn't really want to come out with. I didn't really want to come out with everything, you know. And there's people involved with the situation, and it's bizarre and it gets wild. So I'm gonna plug my device in, and we're gonna talk about, or I'm gonna come out with um, a big piece of the missing chronicles. Okay. Um, all right. So I'm plugged in now. Okay. So you may have noticed about years ago, it was really wacky, and the whole thing was coming together, and um, I knew the people, and things were a mess, man, and they were setting me up for all kinds of problems in life, legal trouble, and just a lot of things where they were a lot of people that were involved were trying desperately to get rid of me. And so they want to get rid of me now, and they're threatening, oh, you're about to go to jail for talking about this and talking about that. And, and they may go and file something against me for talking about this publicly. But it's very important that I get my story out there, um, you know, so I have to go ahead and come out with the rest of the story. So I have really got my game tight, back in about sometime maybe late 2017. I was starting to really understand how to deal with all of this gang talking stuff and understand it very well, better than anybody. And I have become very good at dealing with it, and I have become better at talking about it and having some self control and looking towards the long term plan. So then they hit me for some more setup type of stuff. It came back around on me, and I ended up going to jail in 2018 for about 6 months, and that was directly because of some gang stalker stuff that was falsified. Basically, they they came up with somebody swore out a warrant against me that was basically invalid. It got dropped, and then it ended up coming back on me as a violation of something from like 6 years ago that was also pertaining to these gang stalkers, and I ended up sitting in DeKalb County for 6 months. But when I got out, extra game tight. Okay, I got everything real tight, and then I was doing my thing, and I was building up my money and building up my status and creating all of these different accounts and platforms and building everything up, the pages and the groups and the YouTubes and everything, and just working towards a longer term goal. All right. And then 2020, this girl hit me up. Her name was Angela. And she said she was targeted. And she was. I believe that she was. I believe that she was targeted. And she had found my videos, and she hit me up. And she also found, yeah, Emily is always watching. Just somebody says, you think Emily is watching? Yeah, Emily is always watching. She's watching EMF broadcast. She's watching. She's not watching on YouTube live. She's watching me over neural monitoring. She's not one of the ones that talks out loud every day, Marcus and these other couple of guys, but she still definitely has access to my channel, and she still is part of this whole gang stalking thing, and she's part of these subgroups and this whole group of gang stalkers. Okay, I haven't really heard from her that much in a long time. Through neural monitoring. How is she involved? She runs live streams, and she accesses my neural monitoring and pays attention. She's been part of my gang stalking situation for 7, 8 years that I know of, and so she's deep into the whole thing with all kinds of content out there with live streams, and she's been very much a big part. I mean, there was a time where she was the main person, okay, the main gang stalker on my channel, and we were connected every day, all the time, and so yeah, but she's not a big part of things so much now. I don't know how old she is, and Emily is really not the subject of this whole thing right now. So let me get to it. In 2020, Angela hit me up, and she was targeted. I believe she was targeted, and she was kind of local, so we started hanging out, and we ended up becoming close. And so, but at the same time, while she found me on YouTube, she also found a lot of my stuff where had been talking about Robert Lackey, and he's like the leader of one of those groups of the bigger group of gang stalkers, okay, and they call themselves Viva La Crucial. Wouldn't spell it funny with an X or whatever and say it funny. So anyway, it wasn't long though after we started to get close that she had connected with Robert Lackey, and so that's when things between me and her started to get sketchy. And so I didn't know until later, but I'm either Robert Lackey gave her neural monitoring all the way back in like June of 2020, or she may have got it a little later from either the girl that put me on to target that has possession and control over my neural monitoring, and or Tony Bruce, this other guy I've been talking about. And he's an older guy, but he's closely associated with the others. They're all friends. They all hang out in real life. And she sought out Tony Bruce as well. And he is a gang stalker that's been accessing my neural monitoring for many years. And the girl that has possession of mine, she gave it to Tony Bruce probably in like 2014. I think it was 14 or 15. She gave Tony Bruce neural monitoring, and he became a gang stalker. And I didn't even know about gang stalking back then. At the time, I was still finding myself running into these people and knowing some of these people. But that's how I met Tony Bruce back then, was through the girl that has possession of my neural monitoring. And I didn't become heavily targeted and fully understand what was going on until 2015 is when it started full time. But 2020, when I connected with Angela, she was targeted, and then she sought out Robert Lackey and the girl that has possession of my neural monitoring, and Tony Bruce, and several of these other gang stalkers in the group. Okay, some who I still haven't mentioned. And I don't mention different people for different reasons sometimes, but the whole Angela thing, it's got to come out, okay? She may go and file something against me, and I may have some legal problems about it. But let me tell you about Angela, okay? So me and Angela kind of quit talking, and then she pops back up some months later, and we kind of were talking again, but she had been hanging out with Robert Lackey and Tony Bruce and the girl that has possession of my neural monitoring. She had a video on her phone where she had accessed my phone through through Google, and was remotely downloading my phone on her PowerShell on her laptop. She made a video of herself doing this. She also made a video of herself running a program from the PowerShell as well, where it puts a static grain over photos or videos, and then you can see the broadcast. And so she was getting links, and she made a video of herself getting links from photography with this static grain. It's like a colorized static that runs over the screen, and you can stop it at different points and read the broadcast. And so she was doing that, and she made a video of herself doing that. Okay, she also slipped up in one day and started talking about it, and being trying to be mean. I hurt my feelings about it, but talking about how she had been how she had gotten on mind control, connected on mind control with Tony Bruce and Robert Lackey and some other guys that are gang stalkers, and how all of this different stuff was happening. Okay, and this was around the middle to late 2020, and throughout that whole section, all the way up until even into this year, was when all the horrible EMF broadcasts of, like, it was some live streams that they had made, and they were broadcasting it to me with Angela and Tony and some other people. But they say Tony Bruce was doing the broadcasting at that point, and I found a lot of stuff on this Tony Bruce profile that that he had a lot of my personal things from my account integrated into this profile that he had. And that's when I got that on screen recording. And then there was some incidents where, I went to hang out with Angela, and then some things happened, and it would get sketchy, because I could tell she was talking out loud to people that weren't there. All right, and you could tell that it was a whole gang stalker setup type of situation. And at one point, she had, I saw a gun, and I was like, whoa, 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 what's this all about, And then she started getting frantic and calling out to these people that weren't there over artificial telepathy. If I had to speculate, I would say that she got the gun from Tony Bruce, and that there was a plot to murder me. That's what I would say. And, I got the whole thing on video. It was a very sketchy situation. And so what I know is it is very, very likely, like 99% chance likely, that Robert Lackey, Tony Bruce, and this girl that has possession of my neural monitoring, they gave Angela her neural monitoring. She joined their gang, and became one of them, became a gang stalker, and was plotting with them against me. And so, but this ain't my first rodeo. Okay, it, sadly, okay, and I'll tell you this, it'll never happen again, not intentionally, but sadly, I've found myself involved with a lot of girls that are gang stalkers. Okay, and that's one of the things that has given me great insight into all of this stuff and how it works. And I've caught people on mind control, like with the mind control things on their head. I've got a lot of video evidence of a lot of this different stuff. And so, they're even talking now, like, oh, we're going to have to get rid of him. Like, we're going to get Angela to do this and that or whatever. Who knows what they might get her to do on mind control. And it's possible that they, had her doing all of this stuff and then didn't even give her the neural monitoring. But I would say it's very probable that Angela got her neural monitoring and the whole thing went down like that. And so she disappeared now, and it's still a whole big drama about the whole thing. And there's a lot of different people that I know of. Did Jennifer what? Say that. That message went away. I didn't see it. It said somebody. Did Jennifer say something? Um, which I'm not sure what you're talking about. But there was a girl named Jennifer that was hanging around sometimes. And but I don't know about as far as like gang stalking, and I didn't see exactly what that just said. Um, but I wanted to get that out there because I've been talking a lot about Tony Bruce lately, and the reason I've been coming out and saying this stuff about Tony Bruce because I want you guys to know that I'm telling the truth. And so this is a real person. He's supposed to be like some prison gang leader. He was in prison for who knows how long, and then when he got out of prison is when the girl gave him, not Angela, but this other girl that has my neural monitoring, gave Tony Bruce his neural monitoring right then, and he became a gang stalker. So, so he's supposed to be a leader, a boss, or something of some prison gang, and then some people say he's like a leader of a outlaws uh, sector or whatever you call that. And I don't know, and I don't care. Okay, I'm not letting anybody. Um, I love dubstep too, bro. I kind of like trap a little more. I like it. I like it kind of rasta and like, but real deep dubstep. Like, but not the wild stuff. Like, not the headbanger stuff as much. But it's all pretty good. But anyway, yeah, I've been talking about Tony Bruce and Robert Lackey. Okay, and now this whole thing with Angela over like last year. Um, and I won't even talk to her on the phone and other because she's part of their group and she associates with Robert Lackey and this girl and Tony Bruce and all of them, and so I won't do it. I'm not doing it, okay? And uh, there's still some things up in the air about the whole situation, but I'm not associating myself with these people that are plotting against me, okay? I feel like it's gotten very important, okay? And then I feel like I'm just gonna be a more classy person, and the type of girls that I'm trying to hang around or talk to at all ain't them types, okay? So um, I couldn't read all of that. It's like goes away after like 2 seconds when they pop up, so I haven't been able to read them that good, but. Yeah, I wanted to get that all out there, okay? And I wanted Angela may go file something about all of this and say, he's bringing me up on his YouTube channel, and who knows what could happen from all of that. But I've been to the police 20 times about all of them, and they're not helping me. And so it needs to be out there publicly, okay? That I believe Angela had a plot to kill me. All right, she definitely had a gun. I got a video of the whole situation, and I believe that she plots with Tony Bruce. Tony Bruce, I can prove, has done things with my accounts. Um, Let me see if I can get this stuff. Uh, Live chat, all message visible. There you go. Okay. But yeah, I'll get to this to the comments here in a second. But I wanted all this stuff to be out there. You know, I've I can prove that Angela remotely, she wasn't a hacker, but I can prove that she remotely was downloading my phone. Okay, and I know that these other gang stalkers taught her how to do all that kind of stuff. Okay, and she's not, you know, she acts like she's being gang stalked still, but she's never been one of those people like me that gets attacked and tortured. And see, these guys that are on my channel, they're still attacking my eyes and my face and my mouth, my teeth and my eardrums and like my body. They're still attacking my body daily. They're still running their mouths daily. So it's time for me to go all the way in. All right, so I'm gonna bring up these people, and if they want to run and file something, Tony Bruce, Angela, Robert Lackey. If you want to run and file something, then go and do that because that's what I want. I'm ready. The police aren't cooperating, and I've gave enough evidence to have a bunch of people arrested, things that are against the law. All right, so I'm gang stalked heavily with remote neural monitoring and these people using EMF broadcast. There are a lot of these people. Some of the people in this group, okay, they're big into mind control porn, and they like to broadcast that stuff and harass you with it and about it and everything else. You know, they try to infiltrate your life in every single way, including if you associate with somebody. Like if I start to talk to a girl or something, like they might try to figure out a way to get to her, you know. But I'm gonna, I'm not really interested in talking to anybody right now. I'm trying to do my thing, you know. I'm trying to work all the time and continue to build up what I've got going here and elsewhere online. And then I'm also trying to go to school and work on computer programming. And I'm gonna take this whole thing. Uh, she knows a lot more. Okay, well, maybe I will ask her. Maybe I will reach out and ask her something. I don't know who you are either, by the way. I know. See, a lot of people that are tied into this whole that know these people. Like people, there's a lot of people that know that I'm telling the truth and I'm on the right track. Girl alert, yeah. Um, you know, I'm definitely still interested in girls, but I got to be very careful because you know, there's a lot of people that want me dead. You know, I feel somewhat safe because there's a lot of people watching my situation. Um, but it's a fact that a lot of these people they want me dead, and some of these idiots like. I would not put it past Angela or Tony Bruce. I would not put it past them to try something stupid to try to kill me or something like that. Um, you know, I wouldn't. I'm not afraid. Okay, I'm not afraid at all. I'm standing up to all these people. All right, but I feel it's very important to go ahead and come out with all of this stuff, and because I needed to go to court, but they ain't going to. They're not stupid. They know that I got them. They know that I got them. And who's ever had a bunch of people guilty of gang stalking, remote neural monitoring, torture, and you know, all kinds of horrible mind control, neurological assaults? Who's ever had that? Me? I don't think nobody else has. Um, right. I mean, yeah, right. That's exactly right. I mean, and so many people have neural monitoring, but there's there's different people, you know, there's different kind of people, and there's certain kind of people that I want to associate with, and um, you know, and I've made a lot of mistakes in the past, and some of these people like that that I'm talking about, they're not the type of people I want to associate with anyway, and so um, yeah, they try to keep it that way, but I got plenty social life I want it. I, the whole isolation thing is yeah, they had me in 2016, maybe a little bit in 17. But I'm out there, you know. I'm out there. I know a lot of people. I'm into a lot of different things. I talk to a lot of people, and I'm as social as I want to be, really. So, you know, and I'm kind of a loner, so I don't hang with that many people really anyway. But I do know some good people that I believe will help me with this situation that are not gang stalkers that have access to neural monitoring. But overall, I'm gonna help myself. You know, I finished this 5 years, and it's probably gonna take me 5 years because I work. so much and I'm doing so much other stuff, but I could do it in 3 years. I'm gonna try to do it as quick as I can. Do this whole computer programming thing, um, So like, that's gonna make me that much more difficult to deal with. And right now, I already know so much, and I've got enough to prove all of that. Um, it might no, not don't say that. Neural monitoring in general. This is just a technology that we did. Basically, we discovered it. Okay, it's that we're putting that out there, and that we can be read. Look, man, if I take my truck out here and start running over people everywhere I see them, is it a satanistic truck? Okay, it just depends on how you use things, and I don't. I've had this argument with a bunch of different people because we're victims, and people use it very. People use it in very um, evil ways. They have a malicious intent, and so yeah, they're using it very horrible type of ways, and so and we're victims. So it makes you want to be like, okay, this whole thing's evil. This whole thing's evil. But I mean, it's just down to the base. Like, are guns evil? Do guns kill people, or do keep people kill people? Um, you know, Somebody breaks in your house and they might kill you, but you can kill them and it's self-defense and you saved your family. Are you now evil with a gun? I mean, what if you use neural monitoring to find the missing children? And what if you use it to set up a thing where deaf people could use it to hear and blind people could use it to see? And, what if you use it for all of the good things? What if you use it to check the neural monitoring of the person who got murdered so you can find who murdered them and hold them accountable? What if you use it for an accelerated learning? What if you use it that way? See, it's about possession and consent. All right, you have to have control over your own neurological broadcast frequency, and then the decisions that you make are up to you. If you want to get on mind control with somebody and let them ravage your body, then that was your choice. Okay, you connected to them on mind control, knowing that that could happen, and then you can figure out whatever's supposed to happen about that. Okay, but right now we're not powerless, but people that don't have access and control over their own neurological broadcast control panel, the neural monitoring, you're at a huge disadvantage to those who do. And they're using it for power, they're using it for terrorism, they're using it for rape and mind control and gang stalking and, who knows, child custody, set people up for robberies, all kinds of things. They use it for a lot of horrible things. All right. I'm the guy who will stand up against all of that. All right. With the technology, I'll stand up against all of that and say, y'all can't do that. If I get neural monitoring, I'm going to be a thorn in the beehives of a whole bunch of wicked people. And they all going to want to kill me too. But I don't care. I don't care what these wicked, evil people want or threaten or anything else. I don't care. And I believe that a lot of people will stand with me, including God. I think God will stand with me against this wicked stuff. So, but I wanted to get that out there. Tony Bruce and Angela and Robert Lackey, they may run and try to file something against me, and who knows, I could end up in trouble again. But I feel that it was necessary to put it out there because these are the people that I can prove have involvement with the evidence that I have, and they want to steal all of that too. But that's why I'm talking about it. It's very important. The police aren't taking me seriously. The FBI is not responding. Okay, and so I'm putting it all public. You're seeing me file police reports, public. You're seeing me do FBI reports, public. You're seeing me talk about these people, public. All right, and I'm gonna tell you right now, when I can safely get through my files and stuff that I have to pirate out of my own stuff and like fight for every little megabyte, when I can safely look at all of my stuff, a lot of these gang stalker things that I'm talking about, this evidence that I've had and all of this different stuff, it's going to start coming out there too. So let me try to scroll through. Yeah, you said random people in public. say that this girl, she has possession of my neural monitoring, okay? And, some people I don't talk about for different reasons, and found myself in trouble before, but the people that I can definitely prove, I'll talk about it. It's just like that now. I got to, all right? It's too deep. I want to go to court. I want to go to court. So, but say she decides, I'm going to put you on public, right? And then I go out in public. Well, anybody who's got neural monitoring can look at their thing and say, oh, look, there's targeted persons around my area. Let's go mess with them. Okay? And then you can find yourself being gang stalked by people that you've never seen, that have never seen you, that you don't know, that are not involved in another state or anywhere else in the world. Doesn't matter. It's neural monitoring is a global network. All right? And you can find yourself being gang stalked by people in public that you don't know, and that's why. Because whoever controls your neural monitoring puts you on public. All right, so let me scroll back a little bit. Uh, oops. Okay, it's not going back all the way. Jennifer ever tell you she's a witch? I barely noticed that girl Jennifer. If we're talking about the same people. Um, oh, you're talking about that Jennifer that's on YouTube. I just realized that. Um, you know what? I'm not gonna talk about her. Make your own judgments about these people that talk publicly. I thought you were talking about this other girl Jennifer that was involved with the whole situation a while back, but I don't think that she's a gang stalker. But as for the Jennifer you're talking about, I don't know. I don't know. Um, we had we had we had a visit before, and I was supposed to do some videos with her, and I came on her show a couple times online and all, but we've had some differences, okay, and we disagree on some things, but I know how this stuff works. So when people start talking about different things, that's this and that stuff, like I can't really tie myself into things that I know are not the way that things are working. And sometimes, I disagree with people, and so we just go separate ways. And that's just how it is. So, thank you for praying for me. I pray for all of us. Um, so that's pretty much it. I mean, I wanted to come out with all of that stuff, and I want to tell you that I actually do have all of this stuff that I talk about that links all these people together and links them to doing neural monitoring stuff and hacking stuff, and all of the stuff that I'm talking about is absolutely the truth. I really do have it all. If I put one memory card in my laptop and try to open up the files, then I got trouble because they're looking to destroy all of this. All right, and I had to fight for every bit of it that I got, and I've done it on YouTube Live. Went into the root file system of a Android device and pirate their files out of my device, and stick it in the freezer, in a metal box in the freezer, and export and get the stuff on an external flash drive and pull the plug real quick, and yeah, I got their files, but I can never look at them again. But I got a lot of stuff, and I found some ways, but then they find ways. So they're getting better at gang stalking because of me, and I don't like that, but I've gotten a lot better at a lot of things too. Um, I don't know what questions you're talking about. You were talking about Jennifer, okay? And um, I didn't realize you were talking about Jennifer that's on YouTube, okay? I thought you were talking about, because I was talking about this girl Angela and Tony Bruce and all of them that are gang stalkers. And so, um, I was thinking the Jennifer that was hanging around all of them or whatever. So I don't know that much about her, but um, I was about to hit her up and be like, "What do you know?" So that's funny. Um, but yeah, you're talking about the Jennifer that's on YouTube, and so you know, I'm not gonna knock anybody that's talking about this stuff. But um, there's a lot of people that I don't watch many people, but there's a lot of people that I would question some of the things that they talk about. Um, Thank you. And I stand by it. Okay, and I'm willing to get I'm willing to get in trouble. I'm willing to face legal trouble by coming out with some of this stuff because it is the truth, and I can prove so much. I need help, like with law enforcement needs to help me because of the things that you know what I mean. Uh, I don't know if y'all are having a little argument on the messages or what, but anyway. Um, so that's what's going on, man. I'm kind of hoping that maybe they will get stupid enough to run and file something. But if not, I'm still building my case, and I know who all these gang stalkers are, and I can really prove neural monitoring and gang stalking and hacking and a lot of things. And this group that I talk about, they know who the guys are that are on my channel that keep attacking my face and my eyes and stuff every day. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to um, trying to get rid of. Trying to get rid of these guys on my channel that want to do this every day. So it's pushing me to do more. But anyway, I'm gonna get some chill time in. I need to check on some things, but I wanted to come out with that. That's like the rest of the story, and I haven't talked about all this Angela stuff because that was somebody uh, that I was kind of close to at one time. But it's important for the whole truth to come out, really. And I don't know if these people are gonna try to plot on me or what. And I need to put it out there. So if she wants to. Uh, I've not found my neural monitoring. They hack my everything. All right, and they control everything. All my devices, I'm blacklisted from all kinds of stuff. If you want to find neural monitoring, the first thing you're going to want to do is start to enable all of your security and privacy stuff. So you're going to want to get on localhost. You're going to want to enable the languages like PHP and Python and all of that stuff. And then you're going to want to get your security stuff like the SSL and all of that different stuff enabled and become like a Google admin. And then basically get your internet system, your computer system, to where you can access the full internet. Because if you are just on your phone, you never get on anywhere. You got to get on a real computer, and then you have to get everything enabled. So then, because right now you're not looking at very much, you're looking at what comes up on a search. But if you want to really find stuff, you have to know a little bit of coding stuff, and you have to get all of this stuff enabled so you can find the full internet. When you go to do a search and half the stuff that comes up is like .edu, weird stuff that you don't see all of that every day. But if you got all your stuff enabled right, you can find all of that. But if you don't have all of that stuff enabled right, then a PHP site ain't even going to come up. And a lot of sites that you're not private or secure enough to even get them to pull up. So you're never going to find neural monitoring. The best way to probably find it is get all of that stuff set up, and then you learn enough, and it's probably already in your stuff, because gang stalkers are probably using your networks, computers, and phones, and accounts, and everything else to run their streams, and you can just trace it back from there. So neural monitoring is not impossible. Like I said, I know a bunch of people that have it. But unfortunately, my situation and my stance on how they use it, they don't want me to have it. All right, but it's not going anywhere. Neural monitoring is here to stay. Every person is on neural monitoring, and the imagery behind me. Okay, this guy Paul. So back in the day, I guess like probably 2006, 2005, me and a couple guys, we had a little sound company, and I was a DJ, played all around the city, and they were DJs. We were like a little crew of DJ people that like make music and had our sound equipment, and we were putting on parties. And shows like raves and stuff like that. And this guy Paul had this place called the Globe Theater, and when they went out of business, I bought a few things from him. But that was one of the things. It's a huge thing. I need to try to straighten it out and clean it or whatever. But it's just a painting. He sold it to me for $50. They were going out of business, and used to hang in the front room of this big rave club. But that's where it came from. So I've cleaned it a little bit, but I had it folded up in storage for a little while, so I need to try to iron it and clean it again. But anyway, yeah, I'm like a big old kid, I guess, with retarded stuff hanging on my wall. Um, I guess not that sophisticated. I just don't care that much, man. I'm gonna do me, and that's it. But um, there's an evil side to this whole thing. But everybody's not evil, and neural monitoring is not going anywhere. We are all on it, and we have to get it. Okay, everybody's going to end up with it eventually. All right, if we don't have a world war and destroyed satellites crashing out of the sky, but we're all going to have it. So people are going to have to learn how to use things with a lot of power in not so evil ways. Just like we learned to have guns and weapons without going around just killing everybody with it or abusing people. You know, just because you got a gun, you don't go rob all the people that don't have one. Okay, use it to protect yourself, and it's a defense mechanism, or it's a safety thing, or it's just used for good. Use things for good. You can't knock the technology. It's here to stay. It's the discovery that we made as humans. You can't knock the devices. You have to knock the evil people in the way they're using it. But anyway, I gotta go, y'all. So thank you so much for watching. I hate to have to come out against people personally, but it's necessary in my situation. I have to come out and tell the rest of the story, and I promise you, I really can prove all of the things that I talk about. I promise you, it really does work how I say, gang stalking and neural monitoring. I promise I don't lie about it, and time will tell. Time it stands up over time. The truth will stand up, and that's it. So. Thank you all for watching, and y'all have a good day, man.